Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Packer Universe podcast. This is the first takeaway with Tay and Ren. We are just minutes after the Packers lost at home to the Minnesota Vikings. 31-29, the Packers fell to the NFC North rivals with Aaron Jones on the other side. Man, Ren, this game was an awful game. First half was abysmal, 28-7. It looked like the Packers were going to get routed. They were dominated at every facet of the game. Packers rallied a bit, but they couldn't get out of their own way. Intercepted twice, lost a fumble. They had opportunities in the second half to win this game. Whether they deserved to or not, they did. But they fell short. They ran out of time, and in the end, you missed by 3. Or you lose by 3, which is half of the total 6 points that Narveson left off the board by missing 2 field goals. So, although the Packers did come back and look halfway decent, I don't know, Ren, this didn't feel good at all. They walked into their own traps, I think. It felt like their game plan with Jordan Love was kind of not working well at all. In terms of production early on in the first half. That defense could not get to Darnold at all. We got to him once. They just did everything right. The Packers did basically everything wrong. So how you feeling? How you doing? How'd you take in the game? What's your first takeaway?
I took in the first half in a car driving back from Door County, and I think Wayne and I were on the same wavelength. What could have gone wrong did go wrong. He called it Murphy's Law, obviously, in the first half, and that was 100% the case. I mean, they were beating themselves from every direction. The Halfley defense didn't look great. Obviously, Narveson, do we have a kicker watch beginning now? Are we, is it to the point where you can't put him out there and trust, that he's going to make a, 40 to 50-yard field goal? It's just, It's a problem. The offensive line is so heavily penalized. You just like, wow, guys, it's just the penalties continue to kill drives. Any momentum they try to get going, that would happen. Jordan rusty throwing balls behind guys. He's as big of a problem as anybody else in this game. You gotta hit those open receivers, and as a result, interceptions are coming there. The one in the second half is just I don't know if you get the updates from the Packers before the game starts. They always show the game day fits, who's wearing what on the way in. I guess people are interested in that kind of thing. But they do it every game, be it when they're heading out on the plane to go to an away game or etc. But Jordan wore a Brett Favre jersey into the game today, Tay, his pregame fit, and
interception jersey
looked a lot like him at times with really ill-advised throws. You just can't be doing. The Vikings used a good game plan at times to really put some pressure on and force some of those, quick decision throws, knowing that he wouldn't be as mobile as normal. He did appear at times, that he wasn't so bad, and heard prior to the game that actually the Packers medical staff said his mobility was exceptional, actually. So going into the game, so
okay,
it's just
you get roughed up.
Yeah, all over the board. I mean, listen, Jordan Addison comes back and he just kills you in the first half. Aaron Jones, 133 yards from scrimmage, easy to do. When oftentimes they're playing with a 21, 28 point lead, and the Packers, the one thing that the thing I'll say, the best takeaway from the game from a Packers team standpoint is they never quit. And you certainly like to see that out of your football game. As bad of a game as that was from, I think, just about every angle you can look at it. Got a couple tough ankle injuries with Wyatt and Watson. The Watson ball sounded like, I didn't see it, again, was in the car at the time, sounded like one of those we talked about, in the preseason, one of those hospital balls, like no business throwing it. He gets just jammed up there. I don't know if that was what it looked like to you. Just shouldn't have thrown that ball to Christian Watson. And even again, talking about just the malady, just all the things, Matt LaFleur even gets called for an unsportsmanlike at the end of the first half, and you're just like, man, this is just a freaking dumpster fire of a football game. And again, in the second half, they rally. Obviously they have to throw it more than they need to, but that Jordan pick and then that Musgrave punch out fumble is just tough stuff. Give it to, I was at Nixon, kind of gets back at, he got burned a couple times. I'm sometimes you're gonna get burned when you're the nickel on Jefferson, but he gets the strip sack. That's you got to love to see things like that. The Xavier McKinney 4-4 games. First Packer in history to do that. Pretty great stuff. But overall, that was a tough listen for me. Maybe a watch for you and a lot of Packer universe. But man, lot to clean up. Again, you kind of go back into your game plan this week and you wonder, what kind of team's going to show up in Los Angeles at this time. The way the Halfley D played and the way the offense was, and Jordan playing kind of disjointed at points. You got to go, hey, I don't know what they're going to look like next week and what they are going forward. I mean, essentially, Jordan hadn't played from since the first week of the season, and you're going to have a little bit of that. But man, that was a tough one, Tay.
Yeah, this was tough going. From the penalties to the missed opportunities to the mistakes, especially from Jordan Love. It looked like he had a lot of rust going on. He was back in the pocket for a long time, almost every play, had to, evade the rushers all the time. We just couldn't get to Darnold. So it was just night and day difference when you saw the defense trying to get to the quarterback. But yeah, just the mistakes. And you're right. Who is this team going to be when they show up, against the Rams? I don't know. Two good things. Whelan was great again today. Great punting game. So you don't want that to be the highlight of your team and your team game. But he was. So props to Whelan. I can, pat on the back for that. And then, Kevin Harlan was doing the broadcast call on CBS today. Always love that. I mean, Kevin's great. So he called a great game. Love to see his voice and his face on the TV calling a Packers game. Three things though that I'll kind of send off with is like, they just seem to be they seem to game plan Matt LaFleur game plan better for Malik Willis in those two games that Malik was starting than they did with Jordan Love and the starting team. So I know that's maybe not fair and whatever, but it's just like it I had questions. I'm like, I was after the first half, I was thinking, let's get Malik back in there with the game plan the last couple of weeks. I mean, they just seem to be, a different team the last 2 weeks than they were today when they were supposed to be, having their starting lineup with their starting quarterback. The game plan just didn't seem to be there. And I don't know if that's all on Jordan, all on preparation. I don't know. Secondly, is this receiving core kind of like what we thought they were? Are they elite? Was it the Jordan Love passes, or were these guys not catching the balls they should have been catching? We had a ton of reviews today. Too much time wasted on that, but in general, just so many reviews that they didn't go our way. The ground helped catch a lot of these Packers footballs today. So that I question that. I just don't know. Like, I guess I'm asking the Packer universe, like, is this wide receiving core who we thought they were? Are they elite? And I don't know. So maybe time will tell on that one. The kicker thing. It's time to move on from Narveson. I'm sorry. Like, you missed 2 field goals. You could have won the game with them. You've missed a field goal in every game this season. Xavier McKinney is better on defense than you are in kicking field goals every week. So that's a problem. That's an issue. You might as well get a rookie in, another rookie. Try him out. What's the difference to me? It doesn't matter. Like, you gave this guy a chance, and he kind of lost you the game. And to me, that's unacceptable. You got to find someone that can get these in, doinking them, hitting them wide right. This is the NFL. This is professional football. I'm sorry, but he's got to go. They got to find someone else, give someone else a shot to actually make them. So you got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, I know the wind was blowing today, and they're saying it's swirling on the floor of Lambeau, but still no excuse, the Vikings kicker makes his one field goal and obviously makes all his extra points. So I don't know if he's a rookie as well. I want to say he is. But I certainly think they got to start looking at who's on somebody's practice squad that might be worth bringing in. I mean, yeah, it's just been so inconsistent, and I like the kid coming in, and it seems
Yeah,
like we're
good attitude.
still in the same position we were before, and it might be a while till we get somebody we can rely on at that position. It's certainly unfortunate.
Well, I don't think we have too much more to say about this. Maybe we'll let this digest a little bit, and then when we record our regular weekly podcast, Ren, we can, I guess look at this more objectively. But today, this one hurts. They just played poor, and they were bad.
Yeah,
And
you can't turn the ball over that many times either.
no,
Ted. I mean, it's just it's just some of the untimely fumbles and the bad picks, and the Vikings, they turn it over twice. Packers turn it over 4 or 5 times. I can't remember if it ended up being 5 or 4.
3 picks, one fumble.
Yeah, that's just not gonna. You do that, you're not gonna win a football game 9 times out of 10. So. You got to take care of the football, but they didn't take care of the football or do the right things in pretty much every phase of the football game. So I know that the yardage will say differently about the offense at the end based on a lot of, third, fourth quarter hurry up offense, but that's not what you wanted to have to see them have to do just to try to, eke one out. But again, the always leave with a positive, Tay, the fight of the team down to the final ticks. You got to appreciate that.
Yeah. And they did almost win this if not for the interceptions and that lost fumble. They had opportunities, and the missed kicks. They had opportunities to win this game, which was, to me, completely out of the question coming out of the half. It was just like, no, this was not going to happen. But so yes, that is a positive. They could rally. They could do some good things when they're down. So yeah, a lot of things to clean up. But this team has some fight in them, and I guess we can hang our hat on that. But with that said, thanks for joining me after the game here, Ren. We hope all Packer Universe enjoyed the game safely, and wherever they were driving to. If like Ren was driving from DC, I don't know if you saw Dylan up there, but hope you drove safely and were responsible. But we'll see you guys later in the week when we record our regular Packer Universe podcast. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, I appreciate the time. It's always fun to talk Packers. We wish it were for a win, but again, you love seeing the guys fight for each other until our regular episode on the pup list.